Dylan Hernandez, columnist of the LA Times here with fellow columnist Bill Plaschke. Just reacting here to the news that the Dodgers have designated Trevor Bauer for assignment, basically starting the process to release him. The Dodgers still owe him $22.5 million. They're letting him go at a time, when they probably could have used him in the rotation from a baseball standpoint. Yet I think from kind of a bigger picture standpoint, they've done the right thing here. Bill, your thoughts on the decision the Dodgers made here?
Yeah, I agree, Dylan. As I wrote in my comments on LATimes.com right now, it's the best $22.5 million they've ever spent. They invested in the community, they invested in their standards, they invested in the culture of what they're trying to promote in LA, to be the team of the city, to be a sensitive, inclusive team, to be a team where people feel safe coming to the ballpark. All this, you couldn't have any of this if you have a player who's fighting, who has sexual assault allegations from three different women, allegations which were deemed worthy allegations by both an arbitrator and Major League Baseball, allegations which resulted in the longest suspension for domestic violence in baseball history, 194 games. You just can't have this on your team. And the Dodgers made that decision. Smart move by the Dodgers. Good move for their brand. Good move for everything, except, and I'm sure Dylan, you can address this, it's going to be tough on their rotation. I mean, they could have used him. I'm glad he's not there, but they could have used him.
Yeah, and I think that more than anything, they didn't double down on a bad bet, right? I mean, when they first signed him, I was against it just for the myriad of character issues that he demonstrated in the past. This is not, a guy who came in with some kind of pristine reputation. Everybody's like all of a sudden shocked, with like a Ray Rice type thing. This was a guy who came with a lot of baggage. The Dodgers thought that they had a good deal, and that's why they signed him. Yet, guys like this, I mean, trouble kind of follows them around for a reason, right? And now, they're going to continue to pay for that decision. I mean, they, at the time I thought it was a risk. And, right now, years ago, I spoke to a boxing promoter who had to kind of enter into a distasteful agreement, to get a fight going. And one thing I was told was, the decision was the easy part, right? The hard part was living with the consequences. And this coming season, they're going to have to live with the consequences because, now they're right at that luxury tax threshold that they really wanted to get under to reset, for next year. And, this is going to limit what they can do the remainder of this offseason. It's going to remain, it's going to punish them probably at the trade deadline unless, so there's going to be consequences for these actions, but at least they were willing to take them, which, again, in the past, I've always kind of thought that, this management group was a little bit accountability averse. We saw that, all through the entire TV ordeal, right? They didn't really take responsibility for this thing at all. They finally did take it here. So I do think it's kind of a good step for them. Now, granted, the bar that I've set for them is very low. I do think that they did exercise common sense here, because every time I thought about this, I'm sure you did too, Bill. I just kind of in the end came back to there's no way they can keep him, right? I mean, we'd heard a lot of smoke in recent days that, hey, maybe, there's certain signs that maybe they're gonna keep him. I just didn't think it was possible. Just
it wasn't possible, but I tell you what, I give credit to Mark Walter, I give credit to Stan Kasten, I give credit to Andrew Friedman, because what we heard some players wanted them back. Our LA Times poll said the majority of fans stunningly wanted him back. I don't think people understood that because his suspension was reduced, it wasn't eliminated. He was still suspended for 194 games. I mean, it's a record. He was the biggest sexual assault allegation offender, ever in baseball history. And he by the way, he denied all the allegations. He denied everything. But baseball found it to be credible, and I find the Dodgers to be very credible today. I'm very happy that Dodgers did this. They did the right thing, and they invested $225 million, $0.5 million in their brand. And it's the best investment they'll ever make.
Yeah, and now kind of the burden is going to be passed on to the other teams in baseball. There obviously been questions if the Dodgers let him go, would somebody else pick him up? So the coming months, maybe even years, we're going to kind of see this play out. I don't think he pitches again
ever in baseball. Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't see anybody can take him. I mean,
well, thank you guys for joining us. Dylan Hernandez here with Bill Plaschke. You can read our work at latimes.com. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.